Reports tonight reveal that some of the suspected mail bombs addressed to high-profile Democrats were simply not capable of exploding. The others have yet to be analyzed, but it is thought that they will suffer from similar flaws. So what might any of this tell us about the motive and perhaps the skill of the perpetrator? Has this been hyped, or is the caution and the attention it's getting warranted? Joining us now to discuss is Danny Coulson, the former Deputy Assistant Director of the FBI and was the lead agent investigating that horrific Oklahoma City bombing. And Ryan Morris is an explosives training expert, founder of Tripwire Operations Group. Ryan, given your expertise in this field, what can we take away from the fact that these devices appear, at least to what we know now, to be all duds?
Well, Laura, I have 24 years as a police officer. I've been a bomb squad commander, a supervisory explosive specialist with the Department of Homeland Security. I've looked at thousands of x-rays. And today, when I saw the x-ray that was put out through the media, immediately, the people that work with me every day at Tripwire, we looked at it and said there is no way in any form or fashion, the x-ray that we looked at, that device would function. And then when we looked at the pictures that were put out there, the actual device itself, it looks very, as we term it, Mickey Mouse. The device, it was very crude. It's a PVC pipe. It's got a red and a black wire, very Hollywood, indicators like what would be in a Hollywood movie. And then, of course, that timer, that digital timer that's present there. None of that would be, what a real bomber would want to do. If it was a real bomber, Laura, it would be somebody that's going to send a device through the mail that would be victim actuated when it gets there. A timer is not an effective means of a deployment.
Danny, Chris Cuomo said something a little bit different about what he considered to be Governor Cuomo, about this device. Let's watch.
It is wrong to say, in my opinion, that these are fake bombs. There is a question as to whether or not the bombs were designed to detonate or to intimidate.
Do they have a sense?
The question is the motivation.
Danny.
That's laughable. Laura, I commanded the Oklahoma bombing investigation, and I've been to bomb school, and I've been the victim of an IED. I know how these things work. And either this guy is the Alfred E. Neuman of bomb makers, or he had no intention of these things going off. As your other guest said, this looks like a movie prop. And then you have to get to the point of what then is the purpose. And I tend to believe that the purpose is not to hurt anybody, because these things are not capable of injuring people, and that's verified by the technicians that have examined them. So then what is the story? I think it's theater. I think it's definitely theater, and I think it's messaging, and I think that is the distinction here. It's almost a joke, and it's not a joke because we take it seriously. But this thing is not a bomb. It doesn't have the components of a bomb. No bomber makes a bomb out of PVC pipe because it doesn't restrict the explosion and cause it to accelerate and hurt people. So it looks more like a movie prop, and the whole thing is designed for theater. It's like a firebug who sets a fire so he can see the fire trucks come. It's almost like that, or it's some kind of messaging. And I think that's where we're going to find out once the FBI and ATF and the NYPD resolve this thing. I think that's where we're going.
Danny, I was talking to a friend of mine who's always on these Israeli message boards today, and he said, I guess the guys who do the stuff you guys do in Israel were just not laughing at what it was horrible and it scares people, but that what you guys said, it just looks ridiculous. Like anyone who wants to do harm does not construct something in this type of. It looks like, I guess one of them said it looked like a flashlight connected with a, like a little baby alarm clock or something. It just looked absurd. So what does this tell us, perhaps, Danny, about motivation, other than I want to get attention?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think it's one of two things, and I'm probably not going to be popular for saying this, but it's either to send a message to these people that we're watching you and we're coming after you and trying to intimidate them, or it's maybe even possibly to create sympathy for them. And I don't know where it's going to come out. But
Ryan,
those are the two possibilities.
Let's get Ryan in on this. Ryan, motivation, given, as you guys described, the kind of the prop-like quality, Mickey Mouse quality of these devices.
The only thing to be would be to intimidate or to cause fear or panic initially here. I can't, these aren't functional devices. They sent them all over the place, in my opinion as well. And I agree with your other guests. These devices are just meant to intimidate or cause fear.
Well, but Chuck
obviously
Todd,
not to cause
we just have to
serious
play
bodily-
this one soundbite, guys. Chuck Todd on MSNBC said this today. It's real quick.
I have this fear that it could be some Russian operation, too, designed to do what's happening now.
I'm just saying it's a
it is
very
dividing us.
Danny, Russians.
Well, the Russians make really good bombs, and most people I dealt with in my career, they all make good bombs too. This was not a bomb. It's a fake. It's a prop, and the motive we'll find out. The FBI will find this guy. There's so many opportunities to collect evidence, and the fact that they have so many devices that are intact, they will take those devices apart,
Good.
and they'll trace the components back to the guy who built it.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Fascinating stuff. And could this be the end of the line for lawyer to the porn stars Michael Avenatti? A blistering criminal referral against him was just handed to DOJ by Senator Chuck Grassley. Details next.